my primary, passion is healthcare, but now I believe equally that all of us, both men and women, need to strive towards a more equal world. It's not just for the fact that economically we can create a $27 to $28 trillion lever by creating, equal participation in the workforce. But the bigger thing is that women are societal architects. Women are protectors of legacies. Women are rearers of our future generations. And at the same time are capable of everything that a man can do in the knowledge economy. So to bring forth a more equal world is something we've both been talking about for a bit. But I want to ask you specifically, women are known to neglect their health, to put their family first, their husbands first, their in-laws first, and then, ignore the niggling back pain or the tiredness, which could be because of low hemoglobin and sometimes even worse. What would you say to women about what they need to do for themselves, especially in the area of health?
When you think about, for centuries, women have been told what to do, how to wear, how to behave, what is acceptable in society, what is not acceptable, how they can and if they stray from those rules that are set socially, they get punished in one way or another. Historically, that's kind of created like this dogma, and young girls from the moment they're a child, they're kind of told this is how a girl acts, this is how a boy acts, and boys can do all this and you have to do this. And those early barriers are set that create a lack of freedom, and this dogma means that women feel like they're behind society. So I feel like the dogma ends up creating this feeling that women aren't capable of doing a lot of things, and then that flows on to other areas, because then it becomes not just in the home and the unpaid invisible work, it then becomes about female professions. What are female professions? What are male professions? And the reality is there's no such thing, right?
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
And then, you have the duty of care that you were talking about, where women, because of their conditioning, have been told, to be, I guess, a sanskari woman, you have to kind of be doing all of this work, sacrificing all of the time. And sometimes I think society forgets to empower girls, even at the young age. They'll tell them what to do, how to dress, what to wear, but they won't tell them that they are capable, that they are valuable, and that they can change the world. And I think it's starting that seed early from childhood, in amongst all of the other rules, just to make sure that it's there. And that seed will grow in the children over time and into women over time to create a level of empowerment that enables them to do a lot of these things that they never thought they could do. So to summarize, I feel like it's breaking down dogma socially that would enable women to realize they don't have to keep self-sacrificing, that they can be what they would feel is selfish and take on these positions, but they're not being selfish at all. They're just getting what they deserve and have always deserved to get.
And the extension of that is take care of yourself. Coming from Apollo Hospitals, my thought process is clearly that women must focus on preventive health. There's so many things that science has enabled us to do as a society, as a population, to stay healthier. And so whenever, we see a cancer in stage 3 and stage 4, we really wish that we had found that patient in stage 1. And, cancer in women is increasing. The same is for heart problems or all the others. So it is so important to remove this thought process that you're not being selfish. It is appropriate to take care of yourself, and you need to be strong so that you can live up to your full potential. It's not you need to be strong to take care of everyone else. It's you need to be strong to live up to your full potential.
I was going to ask you a question, if you don't mind
Of
me
course,
there, because
please.
obviously this is an area of expertise for you. So what have you found from your kind of experience being in the sector that, what are the reasons that end up creating this kind of health gap for women and men?
No, it's a series of things, and you're right, because it is access. It is prioritization of society. I mean, we saw it during COVID. If there was one mobile phone in the home for the child to study, it was more often given to the male child than to the female child. That's still happening. And then, so it's the same for food and nutrition. Young boys are given more of the protein, more milk than the girls. So it's a series of things, but I think now, thanks to so much that the governments have done, thanks to our government in India has what they're calling a life cycle approach. And it begins with health and nutrition for the mother and then the child, protection of the girl child, ensuring education or equal opportunities at education for the girl child, and then moves on to making sure they're valued in society. And now I think it's for us to go beyond, remove the subtle stereotypes, boldly look at encouraging and mentoring women to be able to stand up and say, I'm capable of everything, empowering them with digital skills and training and knowledge, and ensuring, their health and their perception of their own self-worth enables them to use every opportunity that the world can offer them. And so that is really the world we're dreaming of, and the world we're trying to help create through G20 Empower as one of the tools. But, one of the most beautiful realizations for me in this journey over the last 9 months has been that so many people care. So I think this ability to speak up, to put policy behind our thought process, to enable action, and to not rest till we reach equity. That's where our joint journey is, and health is an important pivot in this whole journey. But coming to this, Inya, there is a certain perception of the way women need to look, pushing them sometimes to psychological problems, borderline anorexia. There's a certain thought process. Tell me, when do you think there will be this deeper acceptance of a model who doesn't have to be super skinny? Or, there is a newer perception of beauty. How do you see some of these thought processes and biases evolving?
This is a joke, but when they start making the sample sizes bigger than size 0, that would be a start. Instead of putting women into outfits, they need to make the outfits for the bodies, and I think that would be a shift. And I think the main takeaway that I found when I was doing this research is that beauty is gendered. It's always been more restrictive for women than it has been for men. And because of that, you end up getting all of these kind of ideals of where you talk about women sometimes aspire to a level of thinness that they end up getting issues like anorexia. So everyone is trying to fit almost this homogenous social construct of beauty. And the reality is that that construct, number one, doesn't exist, but number two is actually constructed to make money a lot of the time from industries that have historically, when they've marketed a lot of this stuff, have not thought about the effect it's going to have on women. But in terms of the ideals being so narrow, I feel that the only way to shift them is to rip them apart and change them. Because historically, when you think about humans as hunter-gatherers, if you weren't part of the in-group, you would be ostracized. And if you were ostracized, you were probably more likely to be eaten by a lion or something like that. So beauty kind of in today's world is that this idea subconsciously still that, if we are in the in-group because we are socially attractive and all of this other stuff, then we get economic, social and psychological benefits from the rest of society.
It's exciting, Zinia. Lovely to hear you, and very happy we could have this conversation on the sidelines of G20 Empower, here with Zinia today to accelerate the journey, to inspire more people, both men and women, to help work together to make the world a better, more equitable, sustainable place for our future generations.